I'm going to give a bit of an introduction to the ECU that's in my ST4. It's a ECU developed by a guy called Cliff Jeffries. I'll put his website in the description. Long and short, it's an M16. It covers the Morelli M6, 1.6 ECUs. He makes other ones, an M15, a P7 and P8 as well. I don't have any info on those. I don't use it, so I don't need it. Quite a clever. All the information on his website. I won't go into it here. I'll just give a bit of rundown on how this app works. This is a screen recording of like a logged ride. So you basically hook it up. It's Bluetooth. Hook it up to the ECU and go for a ride. And it helps auto tune it. In the first instance, I was using a map that was supplied with the ECU. I eventually got hold of some data, which is a stock ST4 map. And it was quite interesting. The same lean spot that was present, I found on the stock ECU, turned up in this one as well. And it's made it easy to tune out. This thing is completely tunable. Spark map, fuel map. You've got a map for your O2 sensor, so you can actually create sort of like target air fuel ratios or lambda, depending on what your flavor is there. And you can actually adjust where the injectors, like I say, squirt fuel as well. I won't go too much into all that, but a bit of a rundown on the screen itself, or what you're looking at. RPM, top left, throttle position, top right, and it's just got two figures. The decimal is actually the position of throttle opening related to the left-hand side of that graph. And the other number is just a raw data figure converted from volts to I believe a 10-bit signal for the ECU. That's how it reads it. There's 240 plot points on the graph, 15 throttle, 16 RPM. Now the numbers in that populate the screen are suggestions. So the map I have in here is an ST4 map. I managed to get that information very kindly from a guy. Put that in, and at first glance you'd think stock map should just go as intended. It's quite interesting. There's lean in spots and rich in others, even as a stock map. So from that, I've been able to tune that off the back of these suggestions, and even in the first place when I knew it was running a bit too lean, I'd actually manually add fuel to it by just adjusting the map. That can all be done via a notepad app. On the Android, I just use one called Ghost Commander. You can find that on the App Store if you're going to use it. Works quite well. It's not the easiest thing to edit on a phone. I do most of mine on a PC. I just Bluetooth a copy of the map that's in it, edit it on the PC, and then just put it back into the phone. It's pretty simple. Yeah, right. The movable graph that you see, that is actually O2 sensor data. The O2 sensor spits out, like so the top one spits out that voltage, and the middle one is a target voltage. The sensor I use, I'm assuming this would be like most of them. If you bought something aftermarket, comes with a fair bit of data talking about volts to air fuel ratio. So in the case of mine, what I've set mine at, a cruise of 14:1 air fuel ratio is about is 1.99 volts or 2 volts, near enough. Sort of a milder acceleration, or what from research I found is best torque richness is about 13.3:1, and that's 1.64 volts, and full throttle application is 12.5 air fuel ratio and 1.25 volts. So you can plug that into your map, into the O2 sensor map, and it, like in one of those 240 points, and where it says T, that's the target voltage, that's what it looks for. So it gives you that correction line, which is a yellow line, and then that spits out the information in the bottom with the suggestions. The colours, green's good, orangey to red is too rich, and blue's too lean. So you see most of the time, just watching it sort of play out, most of the time it's sort of too rich in a few spots. So it's sort of getting to the point now, it's getting closer to fine tuning. I've sort of got it down under let's say plus or minus 10 in terms of suggestions, and I'll just sort of keep chipping away at it. This is a fairly normal ride for me. I don't beat on the bike. Pretty rare to go over 6,000 RPM on it, and probably even pretty rare to use full throttle on it. Bike's got well over 100,000 Ks on it. Yeah, it's got plenty of life, but I'm not one for beating on my bikes. I've got other bikes I can ride harder than this. This is just sort of it's a 20-year-old bike. Needs a bit of love. Needs to be sort of looked after. Yeah, but anyway, that's sort of the long and the short of it. Hopefully just give a bit of an idea about it. The website, like I said, will be in the description. That's got a heap more information in it that will explain far better than what I can, but this is just a bit of an overview on the actual application. Thanks.